Yo, what is good, everybody? And thank you so much for stopping by the channel. For today's video, as you probably already read in the title, description, or the thumbnail, today we're going to be talking about Fear of God Eternal Collection. Today's video is unscripted and it's going to be a pretty quick hit, sharing my opinions and things of that nature around this newest release from Fear of God and Jerry Lorenzo. So Fear of God Eternal Collection comes off of the heels of 7th Collection, that of which was very, very well received, especially at the tail end of the collection cycle when we were able to purchase this stuff at 70% off. If you haven't already, make sure to join the Locust&WildHoney Facebook group, because there we do share links and things of that nature. And suffice it to say that the entire group was able to eat pretty good when that sale finally went live. More on that in just a little bit. Eternal Collection just released on the Fear of God website on the 7th, with a worldwide release on the 9th. You can expect to find the Eternal Collection at stores like Nordstrom, Essence, Mr. Porter, Selfridges, among other big department stores that carry luxury goods, as well as designer boutique style stores. Now, it goes without question that the Locust&WildHoney community is going to have opinions on everything relating to Fear of God, whether it be positive or negative. So for the purposes of today's video, I just kind of want to chop it up with you guys, talk about the collection and give you guys my point of view and my thought process, and share with you guys my opinions on this collection. So to start things out, I do believe Fear of God Eternal Collection is made for those who want to upgrade from the arsenal that they have from essentials to more of the luxury side, leaning even heavier into that modular aesthetic that you kind of get from essentials, but more so on the side of that smart casual luxury space. I'm not gonna lie, Fear of God has evolved quite a bit since I personally got onto brand back in, I think it was 3rd collection, which was like 2014, late 2014, 2015, ultimately through 4th, 5th, 6th, and so on. Now, with that to say, I do believe Fear of God has undergone a bit of a reconstruction. It's been pretty crazy to kind of see the brand evolve to what it is today. Now, it's not to say it's a good or a bad thing per se, but I can definitely say that Fear of God's entire aesthetic has definitely changed from the days of the skinny zipper denim with the holes, the raw finish flannels with the zippers, the skinny track pants with the zippers, jerseys, and so on, that really leaned heavily into the concept of a traditional streetwear but made luxury, to such a time as this, where Fear of God is seen as a fashion house that leans heavily more into American classic menswear with a contemporary touch. To kind of sum it up, the transition kind of goes from a luxury touch on streetwear like denim and flannels to a more casual look at American traditional menswear. It's been no secret that Jerry's been a big proponent for like kind of juxtapositioning two different worlds, and so I kind of like where he's going with this. Eternal Collection definitely builds off what they kind of set the foreground with 7th Collection and honestly Xenia, leaning even more into those oversized silhouettes, multi-dimensional layering, leaning even more heavily into more earth tone color palettes, making this entire collection super modular, which was a working template for essentials. I really do see Eternal Collection as somewhat of an amalgam of different parts of Fear of God. You got the modular aspect from essentials, the foundation of 7th Collection with a sprinkle of Xenia in there. And again, this is not necessarily a bad or a good thing per se. That's up to you to decide. But this is a proven concept as we have seen from essentials. But there is a spot of apprehension with regard to this collection that I don't know that's going to make for the most successful collection from Fear of God, and that is the price jump. I feel like the price jump is a bit of a stretch, even by Fear of God mainline standards, which is already set pretty high. I mean, it does go without question that sourcing American suede is not cheap. Making it here in Los Angeles is not cheap, but at a price point of $3,700 for a jacket, that to me is pretty high, and I don't know that's going to be necessarily accessible to the public at large. $4 bands is a lot of money to spend on a jacket. Those are just my 2 cents. I know that example was a kind of extreme, but you'll see that a majority of collection did kind of go up a little bit in price point, at least by like 15% from 7th collection. And bear in mind, as I mentioned earlier, there was just a sale on 7th collection, that of which a lot of those styles from 7th was recycled and brought into Eternal, namely some of the bags and the pants and so on and so forth. So I don't know. It's just a tough ask for me, in my humble opinion. With that being said, if you do really love what you see from Eternal, I would definitely suggest just holding strong until next fall, because I do anticipate another sale commencing, as there has been for every single prior collection. And the sales are honestly crazy, whether it's through Essence or through the Fear of God site. You can ultimately get this stuff for up to like 75% off. And so I feel like that was definitely something worth mentioning if you love the collection, but don't want to spend as much to get it. With that being said, I am definitely open to picking up like a color block of this collection. I was thinking it would make for a fun video, and not to mention, you guys know I love Fear of God. I want to see how this all falls and fits on body personally. So if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, I can definitely bring that here to the channel. However, with that being said, I pass the question along to you. I know I kind of referenced a Facebook group, and they do have some pretty strong opinions, to say the least. I'd be interested in having a dialogue down in the comment section down below, but that's gonna do it for today's video. Just a quick one, kind of sharing with you guys my thoughts on this newest Fear of God Eternal collection. Are you guys planning to purchase any of this stuff? Is Fear of God dead, as many of you guys have said in the Facebook group? I personally don't believe so, especially for those of you who really rock with the brand and the vision, and of course Jerry Lorenzo himself. But that is merely my personal opinion. I do love the direction of 7th Eternal. I think this is a really nice take on classic American menswear. And yeah, mainline, it doesn't ever really let me down, especially with regard to quality. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. It really is a privilege to get to serve you through making content. Never take it for granted. I hope your guys' holiday season is off to an amazing start. Let us never forget the reason for this season, and that is God came down in human flesh to be the atonement for our sins, because he's a gracious and good Savior, and he loves us. So with that, I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Peace and be blessed.